For people that are listening that are following a ton of coaches online, maybe they start to think, wow, the industry is so saturated. There's so many people doing this. There's so many people doing what I want to do. What is your advice?
So many people doing this. So many people doing what I want to do. So many people doing it better. Right? Get off Instagram immediately. Take a break. Because Instagram is targeting you with their algorithm. And once you've clicked on, viewed, interacted with a coach, they're serving up every ad for coaching, every ad for coaching schools, and every coach there is. And so you're thinking that the whole world is saturated with coaches when it's not. That's you have to broaden your perspective and look out there. A lot of people don't know what coaching is yet.
So true.
Right? There are only 155,000 coaches from IN across 175 countries. There are billions of people. In the United States alone, there's 100 million Americans that are pre-diabetic. So it's, coaching is needed more than ever, and you literally just have to look next to you. But if you put on blinders of kind of the social media algorithm, they're only showing you what they think you're interested in.
Yeah.
And therefore, it's like, you begin to think like it's all wellness all the time. So I often go and look at things that are completely contrary to my beliefs, opposite of my political views, opposite of my health views, opposite of my musical tastes, opposite of everything. And I click around just so I can be whole and understand what's out there instead of seeing my same friends and things that I'm interested in every time.
Totally. I mean, I think a good exercise as well is for people to actually start speaking to strangers, and realize, try and explain. I meet people at Starbucks. I met a real estate person who came into the apartment for an inspection the other week. And I'm trying to explain to these people what I do, and they've never heard of it. They've got no idea what this industry is. They're literally completely clueless, completely brand new.
Yeah.
And it's just always a good reminder of wow, we find ourselves in this echo chamber and in this bubble where we think that the whole world revolves around this industry, and it doesn't. And all we need to do is go outside and speak to a stranger on the street and realize, wow, these people are living completely different lives and really could do with some guidance and some help.
100%.
Do
you find it easy to speak to strangers?
I do, yeah.
Right? Are you an outgoing extrovert person? Some people listening are like, speak to a stranger? I got a little anxiety because I'm like, oh, Jesus, I got to speak to a stranger?
I mean, so the inspector literally came into my apartment, so I had to speak with her. And then I would say when I take Rio out, she's quite a conversation starter. So I do have people that want to.
It makes it easier. Yeah, no, I can understand. And you are a very warm person, so it's probably easy. People are easy to speak to you.
Thank you.
I find it. I'm an introvert extrovert. I can be extroverted, but mostly introverted. So oftentimes, I'm quiet with strangers, but I think that's an excellent exercise, even if it's just to broaden your horizons to see if anybody really if you're thinking you're closed in or not, that's a great way, but also just to start to open you up if you are a little introverted and speaking to strangers. That's almost like you should do an exercise, go out and speak to 3 strangers today.
I think that's a
What would that do for your life?
Let's do that. Okay, listener, please go out and speak to 3 strangers. This is your task.
Literally. Find one piece of information that's interesting about 3 people that are strangers. Safely.
We have more in common than we do different, for sure.
That will connect you to the world. You may even find a new friend.
Yeah.
Isn't that how people make friends?
I mean, I would say that since I started my business, I've made so many friends through doing what I do. I mean, most of my friends are also coaches, entrepreneurs, doing something similar. We're all in the same circles these days. So it's really opened me up to such an incredible community all over the world. And that's been something that has just been such a huge blessing in my life.
Yeah, I love the wellness community.
Yeah.
I've made a lot of great friends.
So for someone listening that's maybe listening to this and listening to the health coaching journey and how I started out with health and green smoothies and yoga and, all of the things that we spoke about, if they're listening and they're like, but that's not really the thing that I want to do. Like, that's not really my niche. I'm not really that into like the nutrition side. Is IIN still for them? Because I want to hear you share a little bit more about the IIN philosophy.
Mm-hmm. You'll change your mind about the nutrition once you get all your other, I don't know, I'd say shit. Yeah, like all your
you
other,
can say
right.
shit. We say shit on this podcast. It's okay.
Good. Because wellness people curse, okay?
They do.
Right.
We do.
I do. Once you get all your other shit in order, then you start to think about the food that, right? So it's like, oftentimes people like say, yes, food is important, but like I'm not really focusing on the nutrition. And you realize that food changes everything that once you get your other stuff in line. Meaning you will start really thinking about your macros and what you're eating and how you can have more water and how sugar, you want to eliminate it because it's going to give you Alzheimer's, all the things that Mark Hyman says. Once you realize that everything nourishes you, such as your career, your relationship, your connection to a higher power, having love in your life, even if it's not romantic, it's just like, what do you love? Mm. What do you love? Because once you figure out like, oh, I love my job, I love the people I'm around, you start to have this kind of, people look at you and they say, what did you do? Did you go on vacation? What did you do? You look different. You look happier. They want to be around you. That ripple effect that you're now putting out, it's making them happier and healthier. Mm. So it starts with that. And so coaches need to work on that as well. And oftentimes that's, relationship coaches, coaches that focus on anxiety, coaches that focus on movement, breathing, hormone health, gut health. And kind of you learn all these things as your primary foods.
And all of that is covered in IIN.
Yeah, that's what we focus on first. Because it doesn't matter how much green juice you drink if you're miserable and you don't have a connection to a higher power, and you don't work in a job that you like, and you feel no purpose, and your relationships are a mess. You can literally be vegan with nutrients and supplements and all, and you'll still be unhappy. Joshua used to talk about a friend, and I love this story. He said he had a friend. He would not use sweetener. No sweetener, nothing that was sweet, even if it was, I don't know what it was. He wouldn't eat sweets, he wouldn't eat sugar, he wouldn't use any sweeteners. And so even on his birthday, like there would be cake or something, he wouldn't eat it. And all he says is, this guy needed some sweetener. This guy needed something sweet.
His life was missing the sweetness of life.
The joy, because food is joy. So if food is mental, food changes everything. Like, how do you feel when you're at a restaurant and you decide that I'm not going to eat anything because there's nothing here, I'm so strict on my diet? All of a sudden, people are wondering why you're not ordering things. You're feeling awkward. Like, food is mental health. Mm-hmm. Food literally changes everything.
Yeah.